I'd like to buy a vowel.
Well, that's the wrong game, player.
Come on, Conan. What are you doing? It's me. I'm still the president. I'm Joe. I may be older. I'll beat the hell out of you. I'll pop you. I'll give you a knuckle sandwich. I know how to do it. I can make sandwiches. And guess what? Here's the deal. I'm not the old one now. Trump is. The only difference, I know when to walk away. About 6 months too late.
Okay, show me whatever that was.
This commentator said, "This is now the third week in a row of SNL openly mocking Joe Biden's dementia, more than all prior years combined. The SNL roasting comes after Kamala's week from hell, where she struggled to get through a series of off-the-cuff media appearances," reveals Sky News All-Star James Morrow.
And speaking of teleprompters, Vice President and would-be future Madam President Kamala Harris found herself speaking without a teleprompter this week. Let's see what sort of off-the-cuff words and wisdom she had to offer, shall we?
So when we think about what's at stake in this election, whoa, it's packed with some stuff. It's packed with some fundamental stuff. I say rather articulately.
Oh, yeah, it's packed with some stuff, all right. Whew.
James Morrow then went on to reveal Kamala Harris's supporters are abandoning her in droves following her recent chaotic media appearances.
Despite these sorts of near-daily performances from Harris, the race between Donald Trump and Kamala is effectively tied. But there are some serious warning bells that key demographic groups without whom Harris cannot win the election, are abandoning her in droves. Like, for example, male voters who are worried about the economy and their jobs and for the most part don't know what a brat summer is and don't respond to the Democrats' scare campaign on abortion, which is about all the Democrats have left.
Sky News All-Stars Rita Panahi and Kosha Gada agree, highlighting another colossal Kamala media fail from the week.
Kosha, while Florida is hit with Hurricane Milton, which has pounded the state with ferocious 100-mile-per-hour winds, producing a series of devastating tornadoes, the vice president, the woman who wants to be leader of the free world, was kicking back, having a beer with late-night lefty TV host Stephen Colbert.
I'm just curious.
Okay, the last time I had beer was at a baseball game with Doug.
Okay, so cheers.
Okay, cheers.
There you go.
Kosha, we have hundreds dead after Hurricane Helene. We've got many more missing, injured, homeless. Hurricane Milton was about to make landfall in Florida, and the VP is lying about the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, and giggling and drinking beer with Colbert. I mean, to me, that should be the next Trump ad.
And it probably very well will be, Rita. Before this hour is up, he's been doing this thing where he just takes live raw footage of her and says, "I'm Donald Trump, I approve this message." Look, I think on a macro level, it is interesting to see that she's suddenly doing this media blitz, albeit with friendly outlets. It is, I think, telling a little bit because it's an about turn from the strategy her campaign was pursuing in the last 35 days or so. But the specific outlet, the way it was set up with the beer and the laughing and all of that, with the backdrop of, unfortunately, despite the evacuation orders, we are going to see hundreds of people die, and hundreds of people already did with Hurricane Helene. It's a fair point. It does come across as not the best judgment or a little bit tone deaf. And I'll make another second quick point, too. I get late night TV, and it's meant to be sort of fun, and drinking and all that on there is appropriate. Millions of people do, but
championing literally cannot answer questions, including from, very, very sympathetic hosts. People were like slobbering all over her, like Howard Stern and Stephen Colbert. And I think that her team sort of felt pressure to sort of prove to the rich people who love her that she is up to the task, that she can land this thing. And so they sent her out on this media blitz, which of course backfired atrociously because she couldn't think of one thing to say that she would do differently than Joe Biden, which was like the one thing they needed her to say, which is like, I represent change, things are going to get better. And when posed with that question, she literally, on The View, she said, "I can't think of a single thing." And then she got a chance again to answer the question on Colbert, and all she could say is, "Look at me, I'm not Joe Biden." I mean, it's not very reassuring, is it?
And even CNN couldn't muster anything positive to say about the Harris campaign's tough week.
She had a terrible week. It was a terrible week for the Harris this campaign. You had Gretchen Whitmer having to apologize to Catholics across America for mocking them with some bizarro Dorito thing on there. You had Governor Elmer Fudd out hunting and not knowing how to load a shotgun, using the wrong gun. At the same time,
Governor Elmer Fudd.
Governor Walsh was out. Like Elmer Fudd. Be very, very quiet while hunting for rabbits, right? So he can't load a shotgun. He's trying to appeal to hunters. He can't load the gun using the wrong gun. At the same time, you have Barack Obama in Pennsylvania where he derided people who own guns. Remember, people in Pennsylvania were bitter and they clinged to guns and religion. Remember that in 2008? So they're trying to appeal to those folks at the same time while he alienates black male voters by chastising them. So they had a really tough week.
And all of this has culminated in a disappointing campaign for Kamala Harris, with the Democrats having to now readjust their expectations of the VP, reveals former White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney.
And Mick, I'm hearing a lot of rumors flying around about internal polls for the Harris campaign that are showing her losing to Trump in key states like Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. And I'll note that journalist Mark Halperin has said that Kamala Harris is in a lot of trouble. In the conversations I'm having, he said with Trump people and Democrats with data, they're extremely bullish on Trump's chances in the last 48 hours. Now, remember, Halperin, of course, called Biden pulling out 3 days before.
So I think both sides are a little bit.
Through a series of
We all know